I did everything I was supposed to do. I followed up with all my doctor's appointments. I did what my doctors told me to do, and now my baby has suffered a traumatic brain injury at birth, an HIE brain injury. And so this was a conversation that I was having with a parent, and essentially what this parent was asking was, well, since I have a brain injury, or my child has suffered a brain injury, we've got the injury, is that it? Is that all that we have to show to move forward with a medical malpractice case? And so quickly today, I want to help you understand that really the injury itself, in a lot of instances, especially when parents contact us, that is the first step. That's the first part of the process. And then we kind of have to work our way backwards because the law requires certain things. Specifically, if you're in a state like here in Maryland, you have to prove that the doctor fell below the standard of care causing the injury or the harm that has been done, because these are essentially, when you break them down and you scale them back, these are medical malpractice cases. And a lot of states look at that standard of care issue, whether there was a deviation from the standard of care causing the injury or the harm. So the mere fact that a child has suffered a traumatic brain injury, even though that is serious and we don't want to see that, that is not the end of the analysis, because for legal purposes, we have to be able to show those other elements, deviation from the standard of care causing the injury or the harm. And so we do that. How we do that is we have to use what we call experts. We have to use medical experts who will give an opinion as to what is the standard of care, what was the standard of care, and then whether the doctors or the nurses, the medical professionals, hospital, whether they deviated from that standard of care causing the injury or the harm. And medical experts will do this. And so if you are a birth trauma or birth injury attorney like myself, we know what experts that we need to retain and that we need to talk to get these answers. And see, all of this information, all of this happens when we do our investigation of the case. When a family contacts you and they say, okay, this is what happened, this is the hospital, this is what I had going on during my, during pregnancy, my prenatal, all of that, labor and delivery, we will be able to talk with the family and get an understanding as to what was going on. Then we get the medical records. We request the medical records, or in some instances, the families may already have some of the medical records, but we will review the medical records, and then we're able to have an idea as to, okay, where did things go wrong? Was it something that the doctors or the nurses were saying? Was it something that they did which caused the injury? Or was there something else going on? Was there a genetic cause or a genetic issue? Or was there something developmental? So all of these things we have to take a look at, and to be able to give a family an answer as to whether medical malpractice was the cause of the injury to the baby, the injury or the harm. And by injury to the baby, in our instances, I'm talking about traumatic brain injuries like HIE, hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. If you have more questions, more than likely, if you're watching this video today, your baby has suffered a traumatic brain injury like HIE, and you have questions. Maybe you're wondering, was it the doctors or the nurses? Was it something at the hospital? Was it something else that caused that injury? Was it something that the medical professionals did? Birth trauma? Maybe you have that question. If you do, there is a telephone number on the screen. What I invite you to do is go ahead and pick up the phone and call me. I speak with families like yours all the time about these issues. And remember, it costs you absolutely nothing to call me and to talk with me about your baby story. Now, what I will remind you is that when you call my office, speak with my secretary and everything, make sure you pick a date and a time. That is important, a date and a time, so we can know when to give you a call back. One more thing before I get out of here. I practice law here in the state of Maryland. I know this video is on the internet, it's on, social media sites and YouTube and all these other places, and I can't control who's going to watch it and who may reach out to me. Just understand that if you are not here in the state of Maryland, that we have to use what we call co-counsel or local counsel. In other words, an attorney in your state. And that's something that we can work to help you with. But I just want to make sure that you understand that co-counsel or that local counsel aspect of things if you are not in the state of Maryland. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law here in the state of Maryland at Boston Law Group, LLC. Talk with you next time. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.